Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Nerd Chronicles. This is your host, Christian Paul speaking. Alright? This following episode here contains graphic content that may not be suitable for definitely children and some other viewers involved, which could involve graphic language, visual graphic content, and or both. Viewer discretion is advised.
The reality is this, man. Hot girls, man, a lot of them, they just don't respect men like that. And what I mean by that is that men are looked at as expendable commodities. Yeah, I know, you're like, what the? Yes, guys, because here's the thing. What they say means nothing. What they do means everything. This is why you get left on scene. This is why you don't get your text responded to. This is why you get flaked on, whatever it may be. In general, guys, very attractive women don't respect the majority of men. And the reason for that is because only the top tier men pretty much get most of the girls. You know what I'm saying? In today's day and age, 2020, I would say somewhere around 15 to 10% of the guys are sleeping with about 80 to 90% of the women. I hate to say it, but that's just the reality of the current dating marketplace when a globalized world where the internet is connecting everybody. I always say the highest bidder wins. So if a girl flakes on you on a first date, done. Now, I know what you guys are gonna say. Myra, what if she comes back? She texts me, oh, blah, blah, blah. You know what you do? You basically tell her, hey, you call her out on it. Hey, you flaked last time. I don't know if I want to hang out with you again. She's got to make some kind of investment if you're going to take her back. An easy one is, hey, I'll go out for drinks with you, but you're buying the first 2 rounds, or you're buying the first round, and you got to come to me, which if you guys watch my videos, check it out, why you need to pay on a date. I talk about the girl needs to come to you every single time. You can't go to her. But it really needs to be she comes to you and meets you at a spot that you want to go to, and she buys the first round or 2. Because that's the only way you're going to assess her true interest level. Because like I say all the time, shout out to Alan Roger Curry, we did a video on this about free attention. You don't give free attention to women. Men want sex, women want attention. You don't give attention unless...
Women do not care about your struggles. They hang out at the finish line and they pick the winners. Says, hey, can we pretty please reschedule for next week? I'm leaving for Tahoe tomorrow, so work is extremely busy with projects, and I have to put in overtime tonight to get my stuff done since I'm going to be off tomorrow. Sad face. Now, when you schedule a date and then she goes and tries to reschedule, something's happened. Either something, well, bottom line, something more important came up. Maybe it was work, maybe it was another dude. Who knows? Who cares? Either way, she's shown that she's flaky. If she demonstrates that she's interested in getting together and then she flakes on the date to try to reschedule, I do agree. I think there should be consequences. So this friend of mine responds with, flakes are a big turnoff. If you want to reschedule, then you have to treat me to dinner. I like steak. This is where she loses it. Wow, are you actually... I wish I could do this in a chick's voice. Wow, are you actually serious? Let's go about it that way. I gave you plenty of notice and simply asked to reschedule with a reasonable explanation. Toodles! And then she pauses and carries on with, your response was a turnoff, by the way, as well. Shows how flexible you are. Good luck. Okay. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, I think we can hop on the road and talk a little bit more about this, because...
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of The Nerd Chronicles. This is your host, Proud Lane, certified beta male simp with no game whatsoever. The socially awkward nerd, Christian Paul's in the building, right? And we got another episode here of Bridge Talk, coming straight to you from New York City, all right? Y'all see the view right here? Y'all see the view? Live from the George Washington Bridge, ladies and gentlemen. And what we're here to discuss is basically flaky behavior. And I know a lot of folks up in the red pill basically talk about, flaky women and all that stuff, and hearing all the crazy red pill bullshit, talking about punishing women for flaky behavior and all that other nonsense. And I can understand their frustration and all the consequences that literally can come about, right? But I'm not going to just limit it to flaky behavior basically from women. It's also flaky behavior from men as well. Basically flaky behavior from anyone, right? Usually, when you deal with flakes like this, you gotta understand, ladies and gentlemen, right? You have to understand, right, that someone that mainly flakes out is someone who is socially awkward and possibly deeply insecure and immature. All right, I just want to try and make sure y'all know that. Okay? And thank God we got some light up in here. What I want to actually thoroughly discuss and how they're like literally trying to combat certain ordeals if you experience some type of flakiness nature when it comes with certain folks, right? Now with the men's side, you know, they literally got out here playing around, flicking up behavior, not being mentally aware, doing all this flaky nonsense. And that's on them, you know. And shame on them for doing stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to with women, you know, they got a lot of all these deep securities that are basically up in them, like everything coming awry. You have like a lot of socially awkward women, right? That's up in the world right now, especially when it comes with, you know, urban streets, you know, city streets. When it comes to the social world, they are out there, you know, from the nerds all the way down to literally the most popular to the most gorgeous. They're literally out there, and in many cases, the reason why they actually flake out when other dudes of the opposite sex, in cases like this, is just simple. They're just not interested, and it could be like a lot of reasons why they may not be interested in all that other stuff, right? I can understand literally from that aspect as well. You know, a lot of things, there's so much things, so much variable reasons as to why that could be the case, you know. But there's a simple fix in all of this, right? When a person flakes out, okay, that's a reflection of them and their character. Not a reflection of you that actually is manning up and handling like you're in the bargain, doing all the stuff right as you're supposed to do, right? That's a reflection of that person, what his character or her character lies, okay? Because they're thinking, okay, let me try to fake out and try and avoid an awkward situation. I don't have to worry about having any crazy blowback, because that's what like a lot of women do when they flake like this. When a flaky woman does this, she's just trying to use you as like an ego booster, actually trying to validate her and use you up as like an attention booster, because she's deeply insecure within herself, within her environment, okay? And to deal with people like this, when you're dealing with scheduling flakes and all that other stuff, if it's one time, maybe it's an emergency, understandable. But when she's that inconsiderate of your time, when she's that disrespectful and childish of your time, just ghost them and move on. You ain't gotta talk about punishing women for bad behavior and making them pay on the net state and all that stuff, because the only way to actually like get them back and maybe welcome them back is they actually pursue you extremely aggressively, right? And they're willing to pay up on your dime. You don't have to really force them. You don't have to force anything. You don't really have to force them to actually do anything the next time about. You know, this whole you in the bar and actually take the lead by example. And if she pursues you very aggressively, good. But if she doesn't, go sir, move on. She's not the right fit for you. You know what I'm saying? She does not deserve you whatsoever. Okay? I personally am basically a victim of flaking myself by a couple of women. You know, one during like freshman year, around the time of 19 years old, you know, basically had like one friend of mine come by, wanted to meet up, flaked on me one time when I actually came by her crib, basically like a former college friend of mine, flaked on it because she claimed her battery died and all that nonsense. Like, okay, so we decided to see if we try and meet sometime up in Delaware when she's around, and she's like, nah, sorry, the guy got something else to be. I come find out that she wasn't really interested in actually hanging out with me the whole time, so I'm like, okay. Her loss, goodbye. You know, she's immature, deeply insecure. You know what I mean? She got a lot of like demons that she got to hold up. You are or nothing, right? Universal Karma came back up in the door when she actually trying to actually visit with her friend that they got like some crazy beef where it is, and they actually blocked her out from actually attending the party and crying that day. Very unfortunate, but not my problem, right? And there's like issues where I had other flakes that came by and I actually checked up on them, and they were saying I was passive aggressive because they're not fully upfront initially, right? As to why they did, over fear that I may blow them back. Maybe they're not fully confident enough to be thoroughly honest towards you and be mature and upfront towards you on whether or not they're actually interested in you like that, rather than trying to use you up for their validation. You know what I mean? And more recently, I had like a date scheduled around 2017, 2018, around 4 or 5 years ago. right? 4 or 5 years ago, okay? Where we scheduled for a date together somewhere up by around the suburbs one time when I came on the way back from work up in the city, New York City, right? She came by, you know, we basically committed on it, text to confirm, basically she wanted to actually do, she wanted to go by, she said yes. Come to find out on my way there, she gives me a text saying, oh, my bad, I just forgot I got like somewhere else to be and all that stuff. Hey, let's try to schedule on some day. And there's no like opportunity to schedule, none of that stuff. So I'm like, okay. I let it be. Didn't really say words. She gives me basically like a follow-up text saying, oh, you didn't speak. And hell no, because she flaked on me, you know. How can, you know, can you really blame me for actually leaving you alone at that point? You know what I'm saying? Because she flaked on me. Like, what am I supposed to do? You know? But she flaked out. All of a sudden, we came by to the chance. I was actually trying to order up at like a local Shake Shack one time, and she was managing to work there, and she was giggling extremely awkwardly and literally walked off. You know, a lot of times, and it's not just one that do, there's a few dudes do it as well. But mainly women, when like a lot of women mainly flake out like this, they try to avoid extremely awkward situations and hope that'll be less cruel. When push comes to selves, all of a sudden you guys meet up again, and they out there and they don't even have like the courage or even the strength to actually be fully honest on how they really feel, and they actually just shrink up and have like awkward laughs and silently walk away. You know what I'm saying? All this crazy stuff, not even having the strength and courage to really be honest towards you, actually becoming more awkward and actually becoming more awkward throughout the whole situation, and how the other dude feel, and going down on all that stuff. And some women actually just have no remorse as well. That's a reflection of who that person is. That's a reflection of who that woman is. You ain't gotta worry about punishing them or whatsoever how it may be. Just move on and ghost them, all right? And if you like this, like, have a mature reply, say, I don't appreciate what you've done. You know, next time, please be more thorough and specific on the rescheduling, and don't try and pull a fast one the next time around, all right? Hopefully you're able to get the message. If you're around, take care. That'll be it. And with dudes, you know, you can be like a little more harsh towards them if they actually waste your time and all that stuff. Same thing with them, that's a reflection of them as well. You know? So, with that, just want to actually try to silence all the crazy doubters, because I know some people saying, oh, you gotta be punishing women and all that stuff. Just ghost. Fucking ghost and block your number. That's all you gotta do. You ain't gotta move forward, all this other nonsense, all that other bullshit. Ghost them completely. That's it. That's all. Nothing more needs to be done. You ain't gotta be worrying about all that fresh and fit. That's when they're in cars, nonsense, all BS. Move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got with regards to the matter. Alright? Y'all like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Post whatever it may be. Try and get someone to like another person who needs. But actually how to actually learn how to handle like a simple fix of flake behavior. Move the fuck on quickly. Okay? That person does not deserve to be a part of your future life and your future plans moving forward. Understand that. Ain't nothing wrong with you at that point. There's something wrong with them. Alright? Chris Paul from the Nerd Chronicle signing out. Enjoying this beautiful view of New York City. Alright? Deuces, deuces, deuces.